Ripple donates $29 million in XRP to donorschoice.org. Vitalik Buterin and OMG donate $1 million in OMG tokens to refugees. Blockchain-based companies punch back on social media bans. 40% of Korean youth are bullish on Bitcoin. Central banks discuss the power of cross-chain atomic swaps. And Ford wants to use crypto to end traffic. We get all your headlines mixed with some daily market analysis. I'm Elio Trades, and your FUD TV Daily Update starts now. In here on the total market caps, we can see that we are not really up, not really down. Usually we can see whether we've gone up or down too much based on the Bitcoin percentage change here, as has been the case over the last few weeks. We can see we're just pretty much stagnating here around the $300 billion market cap, which is of course not where we want to be. It's not ideal here, but it's definitely not the worst we've ever been. We've definitely dipped under this, and anytime we're under that $300 billion market cap, we can see that really is kind of a floor for us. Even if we look over the last 3 months, we can see that anytime that we've managed to dip under this $300 million market cap line, let's see, oh, it's not actually listed on this chart, but you can see it's right around here. Anytime we dip under this $300 billion market cap, we just really get bounced back up. So we can see that as pretty much a floor. It looks like this $8,000 mark is really where we don't want to see this price go below, and we're seeing the bulls come in and really raise this price back up whenever it gets below there. But again, there's not too much action here, another sideways day. Hopping over to the biggest gainers and losers, we can see that the biggest gainer by size of trading volume in 24 hours is easily Ontology, and that is significantly so, but not too much more so than Mithril. Look at this volume on Mithril, really rivaling that of Ontology, only a few $1 million less than that of Ontology. So that is pretty amazing considering that Ontology is a much bigger project. So really Mithril is getting a lot of heat here. It's pretty amazing to see what it's getting, and we'll really be looking for some amazing releases, some really amazing news coming out of that project since it's getting so much hype. Obviously, in the interest of full disclosure, we don't really have that much confidence in the Mithril project. We don't think that new social media projects or new social media platforms are very easy to start. We've seen how impossible it is for new social media networks to overcome the popularity and reach of Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat. You know, if Instagram had released their stories feature earlier on or direct disappearing messages earlier on, it's our belief that Snapchat would have never really even blossomed to be where it is today. So looking at Mithril and the way it sits and the industry it's in, we're not too bullish on it, but it's just interesting to see so much trading volume. In our lead news out of the day, we're going to be covering how Ripple donated $29 million in the XRP token to donorschoice.org. If you don't know about donorschoice.org, it's essentially a funding mechanism for after-school programs and different resources for kids and education. It's really amazing to see these companies with so much liquidity sharing their good fortune and their amazing amount of capital to do good things in the world and also spread that capital around and make it more widely circulated throughout the world. It's a pretty cool sort of win-win for Ripple of getting some great press, helping the world out, and also circulating their currency, and by doing so making it more valuable in a certain sense. This donation will satisfy literally every request on the donorschoice.org website. That's 35,600 classroom requests, which is pretty amazing, and it kind of gives you a little bit of faith back in humanity. The money will be spent on everything from camping trips to in-school supplies. So big up to you, Ripple. This is a phenomenal story, and we'll definitely keep you up to date as we hear a lot of pretty interesting and very philanthropic behavior out of the leading minds in the cryptocurrency world. Speaking of that, we've also just gotten word that Vitalik Buterin and the OMG project are giving $1 million to refugees paid in the OMG token. The funds will be delivered by Give Directly, an organization that facilitates payments to people living in poverty in Kenya and Uganda. Uganda is currently suffering from an influx of refugees from South Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo. When refugees arrive in the new country, they often have their skills intact, but no capital to start rebuilding their lives. They may also have the financial documents necessary to enter or re-enter the financial system. For Buterin, OMG, and Give Directly, they are a perfect population to serve through this effort. This is very cool, and not only is it very interesting to see as currencies try to circulate themselves in ways that make sense, but to do it with some mission and some purpose and to help people who are desperately in need and need a little bit of capital to help rebuild their lives, people that have talent, have things to offer to our society and have been displaced by factors beyond their control. This is a phenomenal way to circulate cryptocurrencies and to help build a currency system that really benefits everyone and includes everyone. So I think this is not only a phenomenal act of philanthropy, but it also works to really make it a much more liquid and dispersed currency system, which is great for the whole Metcalfe's network law. It's pretty interesting, and we definitely are big fans of all these efforts. The Eurasian Blockchain Association is now suing social media giants, Google, Facebook, Twitter, and more in response to their banning of social media ads for cryptocurrency projects and ICOs. They believe that this is wrong, that this is targeting them as a blanket, and that they're sort of lumping in good projects with bad projects, although there is quite a bit of scamminess and sort of a risk for investors in clicking on ads in the cryptocurrency space, which I believe is the primary target of these bans. The reality is that other companies that are legitimate companies will be hurt by this, and that's not right. So I do believe that this lawsuit is well-founded, and I certainly hope that they are successful, though I do believe it will take quite some time in having any success at fighting the lawyers of Google, Twitter, and Facebook, respectively. The Blockchain Association of Eurasia actually went pretty far in saying that we believe that this is a use of monopoly position of these 4 companies, which have entered into a cartel agreement in order to manipulate the market. The ban from these 4 organizations has led to a significant drop in the market in recent months. We believe that if it turns out that these shareholders or managers of these companies own crypto wallets, which they use for personal gain, using this position of their companies, they are subject for prosecution. Wow. This could be a huge story if we start seeing the leaders of global social media brands and organizations be taken up on charges for manipulating the crypto market. I certainly don't think that's a very likely situation, but I do certainly commend the Blockchain Eurasian Association here for fighting back. We do sort of underestimate the power that Google and Yahoo, or that Google and Facebook and Twitter and all these companies really have over our day-to-day lives. And I do believe this is wrong for them to be banning ICO ads. Even if some of them are scammy, they should be punishing those individual actors. But to be banning a whole industry based on a few bad actors, I think it's pretty shady. A new poll has found out that Korean youth are keen on Bitcoin, with 2 out of 5 Korean youth saying that they're planning to buy the cryptocurrency in the near future. South Korea is Asia's #4 economy, with approximately 51 million people. Cryptocurrency is actually so popular in Korea that market experts believe that it has drained liquidity away from the traditional stock market. Koreans are extremely active in the cryptocurrency community, contributing about 12% of global Bitcoin trading. The breakdown went on to show that the younger demographics are more supportive of crypto assets. Again, that's not very surprising, as we find that to be true across the board. Younger people are less concerned with the physical nature and the way that things used to be. They're less concerned about the transition. They're more excited about the technology and the future that it could unlock. In an interesting piece of news, we see that some central banks have authored a piece of research looking into atomic swaps and how they can assist with securities settlements. The European Central Bank and the Bank of Japan have released a joint report claiming that the distributed ledger technology can generate new security settlement mechanisms such as cross-chain atomic swaps among unconnected ledgers. If you're deep in following the cryptocurrency space and distributed ledger technology and how it's evolved, you'll obviously be very excited and very familiar with the concept of atomic swaps or cross-chain swaps. But for those of us who are not as familiar, like the central banks, this is great to see that the education is spreading. The more people know about the flexibility and power of atomic swaps and cross-chain swapping and sort of decentralized exchange, if you will, this is the crux of understanding the power of distributed systems such as DLT, blockchain technology, and all of the amazing projects in our space. They're calling this project Stella, which I find kind of funny because there's a project that's really focused on a lot of this kind of liquidity and settlement issues, and it's called Stellar? We'll definitely look for more details on this story as we see central banks becoming hip to all of the facets of blockchain technology. And that's right, Ford Motor Company has decided to propose that they can fix traffic through car-to-car cryptographic communications. According to Ford, traffic congestion is compounded due to the psychology of human drivers who focus on their individual travel time preferences. The patent proposes a way to work around these individual preferences through, quote, cooperatively managed merge and pass system, CMMP. The application discusses the possibility for cars with communication models and cooperative adaptive cruise controls to communicate with other cars through the exchange of CMMP tokens, switching their priority from individual to group flow rate through the traffic cataract. What? So I guess what this kind of comes down to is the ability to pass people who if you're running late, you could literally pay essentially like a fast lane that goes between you and all the other cars, where you could essentially pay people that you're deciding to scoot in front of, like a line cut token. Kind of interesting and kind of mind-boggling, definitely worth looking into. So thanks, Ford, for pushing this forward and potentially ending traffic. Thanks for checking out our daily FUD TV update. Let us know what you thought about it in the comments section below. We're always curious what you, the community, think. Of course, if you're an investor or enthusiast in the space, subscribing to this channel is not a bad idea, as we do multiple videos each and every day. I'm Elio Trades. It's been an absolute pleasure having you with us today on FUD TV, and we'll catch you very soon on the next episode.